Hey guys, my name's Rachel. I am the mother of a wonderful 11-month-old baby boy, and I am going to create a series of videos to document our sleep training process / night weaning process. So to begin, let me just explain to you what's going on, what has gone on before, what is going on now, has happened. We had a great sleeping routine about 2 months ago. He was, about 9 months, and according to a lot of things you read online, babies should be able to sleep all night without waking up. And you can train them to do that, but I chose not to. So he was on his own, waking up about 2 times during the night to feed. And he was sleeping in his crib on his own, and I was getting him out to feed each time and returning him, which was no big deal to me. It was fine. So he'd go to sleep at 6:30. He'd wake up around midnight, 1 o'clock, and want to nurse. And then he would wake up again around 4 o'clock and want to nurse. And then we'd wake up at 6:30. So that was all fine and dandy until I started to get a little tired from waking up, a couple of times in the night and wanting to snuggle in the morning. I started bringing him into bed after that second feeding. And so he began sleeping with us, and then it turned into him sleeping with us the entire night. And so yeah, that started to happen. That has been going on for about... Tell us about it. You want to say hi? Come here. Nathaniel, come here. So, this is Nathaniel. Say hi. He's amazing. Aren't ya? Yeah, so for about two months now, he's been sleeping with us through the entire night. And just recently, about 2 weeks ago, he just kind of started feeding all throughout the night. Like every 45 minutes when he'd wake up, he would want to nurse back to sleep. So he would sleep about 4 hours pretty good, and he gets that deep sleep when he first goes to bed, but then he began waking up. So as you can imagine, this has gotten very exhausting for me. And... he also does this thing with my skin where he takes it in a little ball and he just rubs it around, and it drives me crazy. And this is a way that relaxes him and puts him back to sleep along with nursing. So not only am I waking up and flip-flopping around feeding him, but I'm also getting my skin pinched to death while I'm trying to sleep as well. So yeah, it's gotten definitely, it's time to do something about our sleeping situation. I would say it's gotten out of hand, which it has. Okay, so basically what's going on is we rock to sleep. We've been doing that since day one. I know that's something that has to change because he has to get used to falling asleep on his own. There have been a couple of attempts to put him into his crib and see if he would fall asleep easily on his own. Of course, it was never easily, so I didn't really stay committed to that. I was really wanting to avoid the cry it out method. You want back on? You want back on the camera? So yeah, we rock to sleep, and then I nurse him, and he falls asleep, and then I put him in his crib. And this happens for naps. This happens at nighttime. Usually during the night, I can kind of put him to sleep before he's completely, or I can put him in the crib before he's completely asleep, which is promising. He kind of is already sort of working on that. So. Let me tell you what my course of action will be. There's 2 things that I feel like need to go on here, which I've come to the conclusion of just by things I've read online. But first we need to start coming up with a better bedtime routine that will allow him to fall asleep on his own. And so right now we do the bath, and then we come to the rocking chair, like I said, and we nurse, and then we go to the crib. But what I want to do is I want to modify that a little bit. I do want to continue the bath time, but then instead of going to our rocking chair and rocking to sleep, I want to go to the couch, have some dim lighting, read a couple stories, and then nurse until he is sleepy, and then put him into his crib while he is still awake. And I think that will be a little bit easier because, it won't be as hard as I feel like it's going. I think I'll be pleasantly surprised at how that'll work out for us. Just because, like I said, I've noticed that he can fall asleep when he's not 100% asleep. So it's the waking up throughout the night thing that I think is going to be the real challenge. So I plan on checking on him, reassuring him as he's crying, as we start this whole situation out, as we start that process of changing the bedtime routine. And yeah, just try to be gentle with him, but definitely not get him out of the crib. And definitely try to let him fall asleep without me being there, because I read that that's one of the big problems is they will fall asleep, with them seeing you, and then they'll wake up and notice you're not there, and that's what makes them angry, or that's what wakes them up even more, is their situation has changed, because now they have object permanence. So they remember that you were there, but you're no longer there anymore. So mommy, come back, So he definitely has to fall asleep without seeing me. So there's that. And then there is the second part of this equation, which is night weaning him. And I read something online. I can't quote it for you. I didn't write it down, but it was an article. I think it comes from a book, Little Good Sleep. So there's that for you. You went down, baby? Huh? You went down? You want back up? You want back up? Yes. Come on. Oh, yes. Anyway, so I need to night wean him, which they recommend trying to cut out a feeding per night. And how you do that is you begin by lessening how long the feeding goes. So say I want to start with the 3 o'clock a.m. feeding and eliminate that. Say he nurses 10 minutes per side. I have to cut it down to 8 minutes per side. And then the next night, cut it down to 6 minutes per side. And eventually, he won't be nursing anymore at that time. So anyways, I got to go. He's fussy. He wants to play. I think we're going to go to the park, but I just wanted to do this introductory video, and this will keep me accountable, and this will hopefully be helpful to any of y'all who are having the same situation going on. And and yeah. And it will be motivation for me to actually stay committed to this and to, just follow through with it and be consistent. So thank you all for watching, and wish me luck. And I really hope this works. We really hope this works. Say bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.